Okay, we are finally there. This is Crockett36, and I am delighted to be joined by Oysteilo from accessknowledge.org, as well as Gamerman01. Um, if you guys could just say hey. Uh,
Hi.
Hey.
okay, so these guys have been battling it out, and apparently they're also battling in another game. There's a cool tournament going on right now, a 2v2 tournament. Um, if I was to go on a little rant right now, if we think about decisions like on the bridge at Midway of the aircraft carrier, that admiral, I can't remember his name, but he was not making a decision by himself. He had other people informing him. So when we play 1v1, a lot of times we think, oh, this is really cool, but in a little bit more immersive experience, I think you're having more people involved. Definitely adds to immersiveness and a little bit closer, just a little bit closer to what it must be like to make big decisions in a war. Now we are reviewing Gamerman and Oysteilo's game that's been going on for, I think you said last time, 2 years.
Since January.
Yeah, it started in January 24, I think.
January 24. This is a interesting game because it's tech, and they have actually purchased technology. It's just out of box though. No house rules. $5. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. And they have got tech. I believe, Oysteilo, you have heavy bombers and something else.
Yeah, I have heavy bombers with the United States, and I have war bombs with Russians.
That's right. And Gamerman, what do you have?
I have German super subs.
Super subs. All right, there we go. All right. And as I like to say, super subs underperform for me, and heavy bombers overperform. Just my personal opinion. Now, this game was also played on a UHD map, which at the time these guys did it was pretty new. And I had some issues, particularly with the fighters and the little circle flags, kind of missing out sometimes. But we're going to take a look. We're in the sixth. I did 1 to 6 with Oysteilo last week. We're going to continue. Mostly Oysteilo is going to talk, but then Gamerman's going to jump in and tell us his thoughts if there's questions. So we're going into the 6th round. Let me do a little. Let me hide this thing that you guys probably can't see, but I can see. Hide meeting. Okay, and I'm going to do a flyover to give you all a perspective on what's going on. So big news for the whole game really is that UK has taken, Germany has taken over the UK, and they have their fleet. Now it was a dramatic, very dramatic moment, very important moment that there was a what do I usually call this? First an American attack that was devastating, but not didn't finish the job, and then the British came in and finished the job, destroying those transports. That was a real key to any hope for the Allies. In fact, Oysteilo and I were talking. There's a possibility that if that hadn't happened, he might have surrendered. Does all that sound accurate, guys?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. So obviously, if you know anything about Axis and Allies, when you go for a Sea Lion, that's going to empower the Russians. The Russians are going to push forward. It's going to give them enough breathing room. And I just want to note, for one thing, both these guys are heavy into ground units and mechs. But Oysteilo, even though he has, we're not seeing as many tanks as you might expect. A lot of times people think of, I got some extra money, let's buy some tanks. These guys are in it for the long haul, and they're using the slow movers a lot of times, except the mechs. There's more planes than you would normally see in a Russian game, and so that's the eastern front, and then the western front over here. we do have a significant force in Gibraltar, obviously threatening both the recapture of um, London as well as all the territories that 91 can reach. And then let me take a look at Africa. The African, so we have, you'll notice that the areas here are in purple, mauve, whatever that is, and we have quite a number of these that give the Russians a bonus. So this is a key. If you're not tuned into this, you should be tuned into this. If you're not tuned into trying to stop this as an Axis player, you are going to meet someone who is going to run rings around you. These are each giving, each of these are giving the Russians $3 plus the territory cost. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So lots of money. Let's take a look at the income. And we see that right up here, Russia made $65, a lot of it on account of not only shallow penetration by the Germans, but also by these spread of communism bonuses. Let's take a look at Southeast Asia. So there was huge news. The same rounds that London fell, India fell. Huge move by Gamerman. Just, for whatever reason, took the eye of, Oysteilo took the eye off the ball, and Gamerman rushed in. But it was a bit of a gambit, and he was able to take it back quickly. But obviously, a loss of a turn of production as well as money going into the coffers of the enemy. So then we have
Randy, if I could stick in there.
Sure.
I'm going to try really hard to take a back seat. A significant reason to go for that risky attack of India was to knock the complex down to minor.
Gotcha. Excellent. Okay, great points.
And
Great
I want to
point.
say for my opponent that taking those African territories is very difficult to do. And I had evacuated Italians from North Africa, but still it was one of the highlights, I think, of his strategy. It was difficult to pull off. He did it masterfully, didn't overuse too many units, and he's been raking in the jackpot every turn and
Yep.
has made this game a real battle for both sides.
Yep. So a lot of times you'll be sniped if you're not careful by an Italian bomber or the German bombers. I've had that happen on numerous occasions and tried to do it myself as well to stop the spread of communism bonus. So very good. I believe he jumped on a transport in 80 and was able to do the two-pronged attack, which is the two-prong takeover, which is pretty hard to do. So over here we have a large fleet in 54, pretty traditional place for the Allied Navy. We do have a couple of the money islands in the hands of the Allies. And we have got some, China is being, I think, avoided right now. I'm in a couple of games where I'm doing this very same thing. And the Yunnan gambit, where you send the Russian fighters down there, really sets the Japanese back. But they are into Russia and giving the Russians some problems. Just want to check this out, and we will get into the turn. We are ready to go. Okay, so let's go to, I do not want to show current game. That is not what I want to do. Okay, let's get into the German purchase for turn 7. I'm just going to widen this a little bit. There we go. And see, so it's 10 infantry, 1 artillery, and 1 bomber, 1 infantry, and 2 transports. Okay.
Whoa,
and
Randy, that's 10 armor. You
that
said
is 10
infantry
armor.
because that is so strange. You just see infantry, yes.
I think it was. Go ahead.
He robbed the bank last round, so I think that's why he's sitting there with the 10 armors and a bomber and some other land units.
Very good. Let's check out the ends. There was only 1 battle in Ukraine. The defended with 1 infantry. So we have $58 The Germans end with 53 and get the bonus for $5 for the Swedish iron ore. And let's look at where the Germans are at currently here. Okay, so still strong there, and the armor is going into Germany and took over Ukraine. Italians own Baltic. So Eastern Front is definitely a bit of a trench warfare. Let's see how the Russians respond. Russians purchase. Sorry, here we go. 3 artillery, 10 infantry, and 3 mech. Again, just really self-controlled and long game units. And then there's a battle in Ukraine, a battle in, these are skirmish battles in Ukraine as well as Baltic. 3 infantry and go in Novgorod, so he still owns Leningrad. And then we have 10 units in Moscow as well as 3 mech in Volgograd. And let's take a look at the income here. Okay, spread of communism means you end up with $65. Okay, let's take a look at the way you put your troops. Oh, that is a huge bomber, isn't it? Okay, Belarus is strong.
So I think the Russians have to be a little bit careful here. Obviously,
Yes.
I can go and place my stack in eastern Poland, but then I think he can just continue moving on towards Moscow the next round, and I would be definitely out of position. So I think that's why I can't move to eastern Poland. I have to sit in Belarus to watch the stack in western Ukraine.
Right. Yeah, if he picks off Bryansk, you get a shot at Moscow. Now Moscow's got 10, 14, 16 units, but there's 11, 12 right there.
Yeah, so that's a trap for me right there. I really wanted to move west, but you can't do it.
No, can't do it. Can't do it. Okay, cool. Anything in the are interesting. Now, you would think, guys, that the Russians have got this huge spread of communism bonus. There's actually a couple more territories that could be taken. Sicily and Sardinia could be taken for an additional $6. So just to let you know, any Russians over here in China, I think they're all gone or retreated. He did
I don't think
quite.
they all retreated, but right now there are
Yeah.
no Russians in China, I think.
All right, let's go and find out how the Japanese responds. The big thing, what do they purchase? Okay, so they're going to purchase 1 armor, 1 carrier, 3 destroyers, and 6 infantry, 1 transport. I'm assuming that is 7 units for Asia, and then of course 1 ship. Okay, and combats. We do see combats all over the place: 44, 47, 33. Shan State, Buryatia, Dazan, and was Quincy.
I
Okay,
looked at those battles this morning, and yeah, they're battles, and I don't think anything special happened there. So
right,
unless
right.
I wrote something to comment on.
Yeah, a lot of times, these battles that we have. Let me just go up to you collect $50. Let's take a look at the troops. A lot of times, every one of these battles normally takes 3 units. So for instance, this guy here, you're going to need to send 3 in just to think you're going to get it. So there is, a value of a wide front combat, and these skirmishes have a purpose. A lot of times the really experienced players are sending in 1 infantry, and if they get the territory good, and they're sending in 2 planes, and they'll just pick away at the side until they have sort of are making some progress. But a lot of these skirmish battles are not impressive on their own. Okay, let's go to the American purchase. Oh, let's take a look at the German. Where are the ships? Okay, we have a good amount of ships off of Sea Zone 6. Not threatened by anybody. And in fact, we would say that Sea Zone 6 now is a threat both to the Aleutian Islands, Alaska, British Columbia, as well as Hawaii, Midway, and Midway. Let's check out Caroline's. Caroline's still got a presence in Caroline with a significant air force to threaten or defend, I would suppose. Transports, 3 transports. Okay. And then a large air force in Philippines to counter the 54 fleet. Okay. All right. Let's check out the Americans. The Americans buy 1 bomber, 2 destroyers, 2 fighters, and 4 subs. So I'm going to be curious how many go into the Pacific. And probably the combat in 55 is probably in, defense with 1 destroyer. So it's a skirmish. Let's check out where the units are placed. He collects 57, probably I would assume $70. 77. Okay. All right, let's check out where the Americans put their troops. Put their units. Nope, I need that. Okay, so we have, okay, this is mostly going to be placed. Oh, am I in the wrong place? I am in the wrong place. There we go. Okay, so a lot of ships in the Pacific, a lot of units. So KJF is on, and Hawaii's got a defensive 2 fighters and an anti-aircraft. 54 still remains there. Did he pick snipe something? Nope, just convoying off of 42. Let's check out the East Coast building up in 91. Holding 91, I think, at this point in time. I'm assuming the British are going to skedaddle. And I think the Atlantic has got to wait. Looks to me like the Atlantic must wait.
I think
Right.
the idea here is to try to at least put some pressure on Japan. But as things evolve, that plan will change eventually, quite soon actually. But
Okay.
that's why I place those boats in the Pacific. But
Yeah.
We will see what happens to those.
They, I mean, as far as numbers go, I think you are getting close to superiority, even with the American fleet. Let's take a look at the Chinese. Chinese are able to buy 1 artillery and 3 infantry. I'm assuming no battles. A lot of times these games.
There are a lot of battles, but they are not like they're just moving battles to empty territories.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Because
So Japan,
now,
China is looking great. It's got coastlands. Wow. Big money. Big money. And we have this northern thrust. Yeah. Okay. China looks hot. Okay. And now we have the purchase in the UK Pacific of 2 mechs.
right
Okay.
now, I think China is keeping this together for the Allies.
Yes. Yep. It's kind of the mirror side of the fall of London, because China is so strong and London has fallen. It's sort of a mirror that both sides, are very, very hopeful. Okay, so let's go down to There's no actual combat. There's only placing of units. Let's go see how these are just. Okay, so front line, moving forwards.
And it's a little bit annoying that I can't touch the transport in 38. It's just sitting
Yes,
there, but I have no planes
right.
no planes to kill it.
Yep. Right there, this one right here. Yep. Okay, let's take a look at Africa. Okay, so obviously you have a stronghold in Africa. You got the factory built. And are we going to walk to the Middle East, or toward Russia or Moscow, or so that's the big question. Where did you place? Oh, you have no placement. So this is being held together with the units that you had before the fall of London. So good thing that you built up down there, because obviously this could be being starved. But of course, we have a very strong hold on Africa. Let's take a look. We still have a huge amount of units in Gibraltar and transport.
The problem is what to do with those units. They're just sitting there and they're not doing anything useful right now. So
Right,
I have
right.
to come up with a plan to put them into work.
Excellent. Okay, let's see what Italy does. Now, Italy has a good amount of money. It buys a carrier and a destroyer. So that's $24, $25. 16 and 8 is 24. Yep, $25. And so that is going to obviously that's concerning. Battle in Eastern Poland. I'm sure that's a skirmish. Turn complete. Let's see what the Italians do. Okay, the Italians are building back their navy, and currently there is not, doesn't look like there's much to do about it. These gonna have a hard time reaching it. Plus, I mean, this force really wants to go to London. So we're gonna receive the bonus. We are gonna receive the bonus. Just want to see how much money you collected that turn. Control the med for $22. So just irritating that see when you see that. Okay, the Anzac purchased a transport and a destroyer. $1 left over. Sure. And there's a battle on 42, a skirmish. Sure, it's sub destroyer action. And then Anzac collects 15 with an additional 5 for $20. So small nations like Anzac and Italy are really, making bank here. The French come in again, not so much combat moves. Let's take a look at France and Italy together. This is the end of round 7. So again, we have what would be an allied disaster of losing London, but we have a serious combined number of units in Gibraltar, as well as the strong American fleets. We have the Italians rebuilding. We have strong Africa that doesn't look like it's going anywhere. And we have a Eastern Front where the Germans are in West Ukraine. And then we have a very, very strong China and a forked assault, both the Japanese fleet going, army going north, as well as trying to maintain what they have in Southeast Asia. And countering almost trench warfare, 35 and 54, season 35 held by the Japanese and 54 held by the Allies. Okay, let's go into round 8. And we have the purchase of, if there's research here, let me know, guys, but I don't. Okay, you Germans buy here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but on the right side, 8 mechs, 1 tank, 1 destroyer, and 2 subs. We are still in the water. Okay. Combats takes over Ireland, Baltic States skirmish, Bryansk skirmish, Ukraine skirmish, and we place, collects 53, ends with 58. Let's take a look at the German position at the beginning of this round 8. Okay, so interestingly enough, so the capital is free. So guys, do you liberate the capital? No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah, I think he wants me to give him more cash, but that isn't happening.
I've got a situation right now where the guy just evacuated Russia, and the first thing a newbie's thinking is, "Oh, I'll take Moscow and hold it." And you're like, no. You put 1 troop in Moscow and hope he's not aware enough to that he retakes it, and then you get to take it back and take more money, because it's one of those gamey things where, unfortunately, I mean, there are versions of Access Knowledge that have fixed this. BBR is one that you can only rob the bank once. But this, if he took back, if Oysteilo took back London, he could just take it back again and get more money.
You know
Okay,
why
so
there's not one infantry in London there, Randy?
why is that?
Because I needed every single one to take it back if he took it. It's that tight.
Oh, really? Okay. That's funny. And they're right there. Thank you so much, Ted, for saying that, because this is math. Okay. If you are not counting up units and hit points on a regular basis, when you're doing this stuff, I mean, I would sit over a game table with my friend Chris before he unfortunately passed away, and I will count the numbers on the board several times just because I don't want to get it wrong. You have to do the math, hit points as well as pips. Okay, so we've got right here is the expeditionary force. So right, obviously this is out here. It's not coming back. It's going in one direction. Okay, and he's not, Ted is not real concerned about protecting his Western Front with the situation at hand. He needs to get every force he can out here to make the Eastern Front a real fight. Because if he doesn't, then the Russians will quickly overwhelm him. So he's still making progress. That's the Russian turn. And he did fly one plane down to southern Italy to help out. Let's take a look at the purchase. 7 infantry. Oh, okay. Here's one for you. Here's one you don't see. 7 artillery. So offensive guys. This is Russia as offensive. 1 factory, minor factory, 4 infantry, 3 mech. Obviously, this is the advantage of having to. Oh, he's got war bonds too, by the way. So he is making bank. Let's take a look at the money here. Ends up being like $60, 61, nope, $58. And his lend-lease gets $1 that turn. I think mostly Bryansk, Baltic states are just skirmish battles. Let's take a look at the way that Russia is situated. Okay, so interesting. You move back to those finished. There we go. You move back to Eastern Poland. 14 mech, 15 artillery. Just very strong and looking like a tough battle for the Germans. I'm very impressed by the artillery. I don't do enough of that. So, all right, let's take a look at the Japanese. What are they going to do? They're going to buy 2 infantry, 1 destroyer, 1 fighter, 8 infantry. So I'm playing Japan right now in 2 different games, which I do not prefer to do, but I'm learning a lot. And let's remember that last turn, the Americans put into the water 5 ships. The Japanese answer to that right now is 1 destroyer, 1 fighter. So, but Japan has got to get ground units onto Asia, because in either case, it ends up being disastrous for Japan. So let's see. Combats Alaska. Okay, there you go. So Alaska. So North Pacific is empty, and Ted is going to take advantage of that, grab Alaska, distract that force, disperse that force, make him earn that $5, $7 back, $5 from the loss of the bonus, $2 from Alaska, I think. 42 C zone, Kiangsi, Jehol, Shahar, C zone 54. Excuse me. Yep.
So it's really annoying that he's taking Alaska. I know that he's going to do it because I leave it empty-handed with no units in the Northeast Pacific. But I can't be everywhere, and I need to prioritize where my stuff is.
That's right. And, is this real?
Yeah, and also look at the battle in 54. That is an interesting battle because.
Whoa! Sorry. I did not want to show that. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, we got to go over that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I can tell you right now what is going on here. He has a carrier in Season 6, and he has a carrier on the China mainland, yeah, somewhere. Maybe in
36.
36 and in Season 6. I think I miscalculate that the planes from Caroline can land on those carriers.
Gotcha.
I think that's where what the error here is.
Gotcha. Okay. So Ted rushing in. And here it is. And I'm assuming, Ted, that you have a good percentages on this battle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at the battle. Okay, so one
I
of the
think
things.
I think the battle is run on forum dice.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay, so the when you have battles that include submarines, it can get tricky. Casualties can be taken by this software before they should be, and so these guys are pros enough to know that, and they did the battle on their on the website itself. accessknowledge.org has some keyboard instructions that you can do, and then you're just specific about it, and you can roll on there. So the end result is the Japanese win, and they win with carrier left, 2 subs, 1 damaged battleship, or 2, 2 damaged battleships, 2 bombers, 4 fighters. Okay, and let's go down here. I mean, at this point in time, that's it ends with $44 for loss to blockade. So my hats off to the submariners off of Sumatra. But this very good that you built a lot in the Pacific, because that is you now have to start over. But you do already have 7 units in the Pacific, 2 fighters here, and of course the Anzac has 1 destroyer. But hats off to you, Ted, for seeing that. Pretty impressive. The Japanese are now way ahead in the naval warfare. So,
well, there's a couple things that need to be said. I do
yeah,
remember,
go ahead.
Especially the dice were lucky for me too. As
Okay.
you can tell from tons of survivors, it was lucky dice too. And this is, I watched, the session that you had last week for 6 rounds. And so I was reminded that just as like in Anhui and Korea and Oysteilo can just groan because I kept getting lucky, but each of these battles was kind of if this doesn't go well, I give up. And this was probably another one. And so we were each having those.
That's right.
Yeah. That is a amazing battle, and whereas China looks like a disaster, very little hope of recapturing either India or for instance Queensland, Sydney. We do have a situation where Honolulu is pretty wide open, and the Americans are way down on ships. So let's see how the Americans respond to this. What is it? Coral Seas was a bit of a draw, but it was still a loss for the Americans. So he buys an artillery, a bomber, a carrier, 1 destroyer, 2 fighters, 3 infantry, and 1 transport. So, when I first saw this, I thought, what in the world is he doing buying a transport right now? I just thought, all hands on deck, buy ships, and more ships. But let's see what happens. Battle in Sea Zone 2, taking out that transport, I'm sure. And let's see here. So this time you end up with $69. Say that one more time, Oysteilo.
No, I just said that I think I took out that transport with a bomber.
Yes,
that's
right. Very good. Okay, so yep, we're there.
I could have bought 2 fast movers instead of the transports, but it's a little bit complicated if you go a little bit further north. I have those units in
Yeah.
British Columbia. It's
Gotcha.
possible to attack with those 2 infantries.
Gotcha. Good. Okay. So I want to retake
what,
back
Randy?
Alaska. Yeah, go ahead, Ted.
That just occurred to me. We're pretty close here to America controlling West Canada. That's kind of it. That'd be interesting.
Right. Right. Okay. So let's go to the Chinese. Sorry. We did not take a look at the European side, which I think was more maintained. Oh, we got it. Okay. Got into the med to avoid the bonus this time. He's got the airbase to scramble, and he's in the med, and he's decided, okay, I think you're deciding let's tough it out and at least not give him the $5 bonus, and we'll deal with United Kingdom, London one. Oh, okay, you did put stuff. Okay, did you place units right here? You did.
Oh.
You placed 2 infantry, a carrier, and a destroyer in 101. Okay, okay, so you did invest in the Atlantic. Okay, so wow. Okay, so with the math of figuring out that the Japanese, okay, they have won a huge ship battle, but I really need to get to taking back London. China's good, Egypt's good, Moscow looks great. I really need to take back London. So that's what you're thinking, Oysteilo?
Right now, I am unsure what the right move would be, because I think I place the fleet in the Mediterranean to avoid the NO for the Italy, but it
Yes.
also threatens Italy, and it threatens London, it threatens multiple places. Even Greece is a potential landing spot.
So take a look at this. At this point in time, at least, the Italian capital is somewhat lightly defended. So excellent.
But I don't have enough stuff yet, but
Right.
we're building more in the Atlantic, so there are more units to come.
Excellent. Okay, let's take a look at the Chinese. Obviously, he purchases. I think he still has. Yep, he's got an artillery and 7 infantry. So obviously could have built more artillery, but did not choose to do that. Going to do some more skirmish battles. Hunan, Shahar, Jehol. I don't think any of them are major battles. Collecting a good amount, $24. Okay, so as much as we've just had a naval disaster, the Chinese and Chinese mainland is hot stuff, with owning some coastal property as well as all over the place. Okay, let's take a look at the purchase for the UK Pacific 1 infantry, no combats, and let's take a look at placement all the way down here. Okay, so again, with limited income, I just see you guys, Oysteilo, you're doing a lot with the limited income you're getting from the UK and the obviously none out of the London factory. Holding your ground here with some air, moving toward the Middle East, and
I
some
think that
fast movers.
it's just one point I want to make. I mean, obviously that battle in '54 with Japan was really bad for the Allies, but it also has some consequences, because there are no planes that can fight in China, for instance, because they're in different places. So it makes life easier for China when he's fighting in Sea Zone 54. But overall, of course, it's a good call for him. I have some compensation somewhere else, at least a little bit.
Very good, very good. That's right. So can you explain the movement to Tobruk and Libya? You actually moved out of Egypt into here. Are you looking to? Well, you're protecting. You're protecting to. You're protecting them.
Those areas because there's an Italian transport, and there are probably some Italian planes that can reach. So, yeah.
Excellent. You're protecting your Russian income, because this could be a quick snipe hit these two Russians. They can't take it. They wouldn't be able to take it back for a while, and you're making a lot of money. So very good. Okay. Okay. And the Italians purchase a bomber, infantry, and another transport. He is alive and has no fear. Okay. Battle Baltic, Bryansk, and again, turn complete. Not making quite as much money. $17 though is respectable. Well, the potential hit attack power of the Italians grows, and then over here we have you taking Bryansk for the Russians so that's interesting.
I'm not sure why he took Bryansk.
Yeah, I'm confused. Those are gonna be killed. You're not moving. I don't think you're moving Germans in there. Any thoughts, Ted?
Yeah, it was supposed to be hit and run.
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
that's right. That's right.
okay.
You can look,
Gotcha.
you can look at that battle because it's kind of interesting.
All right, let's take a look. Yeah, the raid. Gotcha. Okay, here we go. Battle attack with two tanks and a mech, and he defends with two infantry and an anti-aircraft. And you get two hits first round. Italians miss completely. You got to decide: do I press on? You press on.
So I choose to take two infantry off
Ah,
to
very good.
force him to continue the battle. So that's
Oh,
what
that's great. Okay. The AA owned by the Russians is lost automatically.
right.
That's amazing. Okay, I would not have picked that out. That's very good. That's okay. Just to make sure we're aware. So you take the two infantry, the anti-aircraft cannot defend, therefore it's capitulated. It's killed. And wow, that's some pretty great thinking right there, Oysteilo. Wow. Okay. Expose some can openers, and let's go on to the Anzac. Very good. That's knowing the rules there, people. Anzac buys two fighters. Uh, skirmish in 42, and turn completes. He does lose some to blockades, makes $17, respectable. Tracking with the Italians again. Two lost to blockade. Congratulations to the ships in 54, I'm assuming. Um,
So just a short comment at the end around 9,
Yep.
around 8, I mean, because all my navy was blown up, I
Yes.
had like 6 American units or something like that in
Yep.
Queensland, and
Right.
then I moved those down to New South Wales because
Right.
now I am afraid that he's going to go after
Hawaii.
Anzac or Sydney because I have no navy.
Right.
So that's why I buy those two fighters to help protect Sydney as the capital city.
Right. So we have a Victory City game that is alive and well. You do take Java, and I don't think there's any Anzac troops over here left. And Anzac is now in Iraq. Okay, let's go to round 9. The purchase research. Nope. Okay, purchase 3 artillery, 10 mech, and 1 sub. He continues to buy the subs. Combat in Finland, Baltic state skirmishes. Turn complete. Let's take a look at the income. $59 iron ore, and okay, so I'll move south, little small thrust south that needs responding to, but I mean the Russians can handle it. And then Leningrad's still being held. That's impressive. Um, and we still have a navy building up, and this is a little more, I mean, very pertinent, obviously, because the move here doesn't threaten 112, and you can stick yourself out in 112 with 3 scrambling fighters. So you are Germany is dominating the North Atlantic, obviously,
And
but the American.
you can also see that he's pulling off armor or tanks from London or Scotland because he wants to put those against Russia.
Gotcha. Very
There were
good.
like 7 armor there, I think, after London fell. Now there's only 3.
Yep, there you go. Very good. All right, let's take a look at the purchase for the Russians. 11 infantry, 3 artillery, and 3 mech. So, and then combats, skirmish in Bryansk, Rostov, Baltic. And then we have some editing, but we're still at $51, I believe. Okay, so let's take a look at how the Eastern Front. Now, again, any mistake, this is, this literally is trench warfare, and any mistake, you're when you're playing like this, you're trying to see what could be between the can openers, between the fighters in the back, between the mech that are available, and making sure you don't make a mistake, because obviously a mistake here would be disastrous. But on the other hand, a mistake here would be disastrous as well. So we've got the Eastern Front as a trench warfare. Okay, let's go down here and by the way, $50. Again, that spread of communism bonus money is saving Russia's biscuit.
Oh, that's saving the Allies basically without
Yes.
The $15 each round for Russia. It would have been game over.
Right. And 4 for the war bonds, that helps always. He collected $30, and so, and 1, 2, 3, 4, so 26 from originally Russian, but yeah, so very good, very good. So if you're not using spread of communism bonus, put it in your toolbox. Okay, the Japanese buy 2 armor, 1 artillery, 1 carrier, 2 subs, and a bunch of skirmish battles: Dutch New Guinea, 42, Celebes, Kiangsu, Johor, Shantung, Java, New Guinea, Kiangsu, Hunan, Buriacha. So, obviously we see that the Japanese feel a little freer. They don't have a Western, I guess, Eastern threat from the East, from the Americans. That's East, yes, that's the East. So they're able to really pour some of their airplane power into Asia now and gain back the Money Islands, ending with $62. Let's take a look at Japanese. They're also, of course, up into Russia, although the Russians are fighting back, and that area is going to have to be resupplied. They're just barely coastal, but they've regained the coast, which is a big deal. And
so he has put a ton of infantry into the Chinese coast, and now he has regained the coast. So that's important for Japan here, I think.
right. China is not as strong as it was. Let's see how it goes. They're still making a lot of money, so let's see how the Americans respond. Oh, I did want to see. So, Ted, obviously, you don't have a destroyer. Last turn, you did not have a destroyer here. Let me just take it back to the beginning. Okay, so right here we have, you did have 2 destroyers. So did you think to yourself, maybe I could scramble here, but just too many hit points and too many, I mean, it looks fairly good for you here. Am I wrong on that? Am I seeing that wrong?
Oh, he's got 2 heavy bombers in the vicinity to clean
Ah,
up.
gotcha. Oh, heavy, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. Very good. Okay, so whatever happens, you could be zeroed out pretty quickly.
And he wouldn't have to scramble. So he could have 5
Gotcha.
aircraft.
Very good. Okay, good. Okay, and I just messed up. Okay, I think we're in round. Okay, so the Americans buy 1 artillery, 1 carrier, 7 infantry, and 4 transports. Okay, so we have another, it looks to me like an Atlantic build. So you are very serious about London. And with the armor moved off of London, it looks to me like Gamerman is recognizing that probably his days on the English mainland are the English island are few. Okay, collect $72. Let's take a look at the Americans. Okay, so you move back and you do place the carrier here. 2 heavy bombers. You've got Alaska back. Get your bonus. But here's the big news. Three transports. And then over here in 91, he's back out into the 91. 2 carriers, 4 fighters, 2 transports, 1 destroyer. Two subs, 1 destroyer, 3 fighters on the in the west, and a bomber. Okay, I think that might be it for the Americans. I think they might have a straggler sub somewhere. Yep, right there, 79. Okay, let's check out the Chinese. How did the Chinese respond to losing the coast? They buy 8 infantry, combat moves, battle for Kiangsi and Jehol. That's central China, and they collect 17 plus 6, $23. Check out China. So he has 2 coastal properties, and a lot of times you'll see a huge glob here, and then you build a fight over this. But you are fighting Japan on a broad front. You have your fighter here as well as some artillery, but yeah, it's great. And northern China obviously is looking, Manchuria is looking in danger. The Japanese have 2 transports there. 1 transport off Celebes, 1 transport off of Dutch New Guinea, and 1 transport off of Java and Celebes.
So that's annoying thing here. I mean, he has transports everywhere, and he can leave them unprotected because I am out of range, and that's really, really annoying.
Very good, especially this 45 one. I don't think you can take it out. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stank. Why isn't there an air base in Sydney? All right. Well done, Ted. Making life a pain in the butt. Okay, we have a purchase again. This is so many rounds without much purchasing power from the English. 3 infantry, combat and no combats. And let's check out down here. Ends with $10. Okay, let's see. I mean, I'm assuming the British are going to sort of hold their ground. They have a nice control of Southeast Asia with their limited resources.
Something just changed. I'm sorry.
So this round, he has to land a couple of planes in Malaya to keep Malaya from falling into British hands, because I have a couple of mech infantries in Yunnan.
Very good.
So he's denying that. So that's well done.
Well done, Ted. Southeast Asia. I love. Yeah, go ahead.
There's a big thing here that's easy to miss. There are 2 bombers on Yunnan, and they had to go up to the English Channel to attack German transports, land in Ireland. And as we both knew, they are making a beeline back to East Asia, where the Indians have no aircraft. Now he has reach at transports. He has air support for all ground units, and that is a really big deal.
Okay, good. We've been talking about how Ted has been using the fact that there's no air in the theater, and now there are British bombers that have doing double duty. These are some of the killers of the German fleet, And they have gone from killing that German fleet, sinking those transports, to being in Yunnan and threatening the sea zones around China. Very good. Very good job. Great job. Okay, so then, oh, I wanted to see over here. I wanted to check out Egypt. Sorry. So Egypt still strong, protecting those Russians. I'm assuming the Russians are sort of waiting for an opportunity to be picked up and taken to Sicily and Sardinia.
Of course, there could be, but it's difficult to make that happen.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
And it's
that's
also easy for Italy to take it back. It means I have to kill his fleet and
yes,
make sure that there is no rebuild of the fleet for that to be successful, I think.
very good, very good. Italians purchase. Just lost it. Italians purchase 1 bomber and 1 mech. Love the bomber build. I've been building bomber in my game with Schultze, but just been building Italian bombers, and they are really cool. A battle in '92, and then we have another control the med bonus for $23. Okay, so effectively neutralizing this destroyer here in order to get that bonus, and they're making what I would call that big money for Italy. So anything over 20, get to 30, and you might as well say goodnight, Gracie. 1 fighter and 2 infantry bought for the Anzacs, and I'm assuming there's not a lot of, and there's no combat. Let's check out the non-com. So let's go over to Anzac. Anzac is now out of Sydney into back into Queensland. They've got 2 planes, and they are not afraid of the big bad wolf. And
Yeah, so Anzac is basically out of the game.
yeah.
They're just sitting on their island protecting their capital, and that's it. Because there are Japanese ships everywhere.
Now, Ted, it looks like your transport for Dutch New Guinea made an effort at capturing Dutch New Guinea. Is that correct?
Yeah, it failed.
Okay, so that transport is there to take away the $5 bonus. That is,
I even did an airstrike on a man on New Guinea last turn to keep him from taking it back.
Oh wow, very good. So just to let the viewing audience know, I mean, Anzac collecting $10 is the desire of every Axis player, and any of that bonus money that puts you up to 2 subs or aircraft, particularly a bomber, is where you don't want to be. So $16 is better than 10, obviously. More dangerous. Okay, the purchase for the Germans: 1 carrier, 2 fighters. Okay, you will not give that up. 3 submarines, 1 mech. Wow, that is a big purchase. That is a momentous purchase, I would say. Battle in Sea Zone 115, Novgorod, Rostov, and Karelia, Vyborg. This is the north front that's been neglected for a while, and you are pressing in. And now you have Novgorod, and you're past $60. You're up to $68. Let's take a look at this. Any battles of significance there, guys?
I don't remember, but
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, so there's this, in history they would have called this something, I forget what, encirclement really, but normally that would be with large forces on both sides. But we got a double thrust as well as a solid center, and the Germans are gaining ground.
So he's making some progress. Last round he couldn't take Leningrad, but this round Leningrad is in German hands, and that's extra 7 money. So that's not good.
Right. Okay, and the aircraft carrier is built in 110 with 3 planes scramble here, 2 subs. All right, let's see what happens. Still a fighter down here, and two bombers still down in southern Italy. Those two bombers are so deceptive in southern Italy. They have mad reach over into southern Russia. So very deceptive. Now the fighter also. Okay, let's go to the purchase. 5 artillery and 10 infantry. Okay, combat Novgorod is going to be fought over, and Turkey. Whoa, whoa, neutral game. Big moment here, folks. This is a big moment. So obviously he's going to coordinate this attack with the capture of Spain, and it looks to be a easy battle actually. 1 infantry owned by the Russians lost in Turkey. Let's see, the Russians take Turkey, and they've got plenty of units left. And the Baltics. What am I trying to say here, guys? Balkans. Thank you. I knew my brain did not work. The Balkans are not exactly wide open because there's some pretty handy Italian troops there waiting, but the Balkans at least can be stepped into. Wow. So fun stuff.
What this does, yeah. So what this does is that it creates a second front that Germany and or Italy needs to pay attention to, because you can't have the Russians going into Greece and going up to Bulgaria, maybe Romania and Yugoslavia. So
Yeah,
that's a disaster. Yeah. So he has to put stuff down there to deny that.
Very good.
Yeah, so
very
that's
good.
one purpose of the neutral attack.
Very good. That is good. The obviously I'm never too worried about the Swedish. They're so out of position that oh, I know what's going on here. Sorry, guys. Okay, I hope I didn't screw that up. Okay, so that was turn 10, I think, right?
Yeah, so you're
Russians.
turn 10.
Wow. So okay, so this obviously looks pretty good, responding to the southern thrust. You move down to Bryansk. It's a bit of a back step for the Germans, but also this is a big money area for the Germans. You do not want them receiving $4 for Volgograd and Caucasus and getting $10 more for bonuses. $14 right here. We do not want that to happen, obviously. And the move to Bryansk is going to help with that, and the 14 mech that are in Tambov. All right. Where are the planes are down here. Okay, wow. So look at that. Wow, check that out. Oh, that was the factory. I've been missing that every turn. Okay, wow, I've been missing this, that you build a factory down here. Very good. It's one of the problems with a small screen. Wow, okay. Turn complete, you make it very decent, $53. And then we move on to the Japanese. They purchased 4 armor, 5 infantry, 1 mech, 2 subs, and 1 transport. Okay, and combat is in Dutch New Guinea. Gonna take away that, get the Anzac down to 10. Sea Zone 1, Kiangsu, take back the coast, J-Hole, Guangxi, Hunan, Saka, and Anhui. Skirmish battles there. You end up turn complete. He's going to be into this $58 control of the money islands. Let's take a look at the Japanese. Again, surging back into, we're making the recapture of Saka difficult.
So the Russian units in the Soviet Far East, they're just basically they're just delaying.
Right.
They're just sitting in one territory to deny the armor to blitz through all the areas. So
very good. Yeah. You reestablish the coast, and it looks like you can hold in Guangxi. Southeast Asia is lost, but
But he
the
has,
money
yes,
islands are good.
yeah, so he has surrendered Malaya. So Malaya is empty.
And still dominating as far as the Navy goes, with all of your transports well protected except for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can finally pick a transport off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, so all right, let's go down to the Americans. How do they respond? 1 artillery, 1 carriers, 2 infantry, 2 fighters, 6 infantry, 2 transports. Okay. So, okay. So, all right. Combat Spain. Okay, there's the big one for Spain. The Americans take care of the neutral, and 6 infantry are lost, but the Americans now have $72, and let's take a look at that. Okay, so how does Spain look? I do love these kind of games. I really do love neutral games. It's this. I think the map is made disadvantageously for the Allies, and Spain cures so many problems. It's amazing. Um, but obviously,
If you zoom out now a little bit, Randy, to
yep.
show the European map, there are quite a bit of pressure on Germany from
Over here.
Spain, from Turkey, and of course also from Russia itself. So there are 3 fronts that are now open, and he can't neglect Spain and the front that's created there. So hopefully that will draw some resources out from the Eastern Front. At least that's my thinking right here.
Well,
And
I,
maybe long term, there is a goal to recapture London, but it's not right now, but maybe later.
well, I just want to say, both of you guys. I mean, the amount of thinking that has to go into, um, point of conflict here. This is a large force. Point of conflict here. Point of conflict up here in Leningrad, which is highly desirable. We have the trench warfare in the central, and then your purchase of naval units. This is some hard work. Um, Hard work. And let's take a
This
look
point
at.
right here is about 1 year ago.
I
I can still remember calculating some of this stuff here.
1 year ago. That's amazing. Got a carrier and 4 transports. Most everything was placed in 101. We're getting London back. We did move central. You did move centrally out to 26. Brought your forces out to the Hawaiian Islands. All right, let's take a look at the Chinese. And you're going to purchase 2 artillery, 2 artillery and 5 infantry. Combat, I'm sure Hunan and J-hole skirmish battles, and then turn complete and keep touching stuff. There it is. And the Burma Road is open, so he makes $19, which is very, very good money for the Chinese. Let's take a look there. Coastal, he's off the coast, but obviously endangering J-hole. Oh no, he does have J-hole. It's coastal. And every Japanese ground unit killed at this point in time is just very difficult. But you've got Japan's got a factory in Kwangtung. At one point in time, that was endangered, and you are using transports to get units onto the mainland. 2, 4, 5 transports.
I think he has a factory in Guangdong.
Just Quangtung. Yep. Okay. And now the purchase again, 3 infantry. Such a small amount of units going into India, but making such a huge difference. Combat in 45 and combat in 92 to take away that bonus, I'm sure. And let's go down here. And we are completely committed with, there is a naval base here, 1, 2, so we could go to Burma. We are very committed, not completely, but very committed to Yunnan. That is a tough, that again, we have this sort of trench warfare. Who will give first? And still India's protected. And still kind of holding ground in Africa. I might be missing something. We do have an air in Turkey. Now that does not affect the bonus. Are you at all concerned about the? No, you're not, because you have the Lend-Lease, because you have the submarine that is a stubborn thing. And then you move, I'm sure. No, you stayed in Gibraltar.
Yeah, because I didn't move my British guys in because you look, he has 2 Italian transports, and if I move in the British, I didn't calculate it in too much detail, but I'm afraid that he might attack Gibraltar and kill some of my planes there. So that's, I think, the reason why I didn't move in the British.
And of course, having that air base as well as the harbor, it increases your punch. Okay, the Italians buy 2 fighters and 1 infantry. That's a lot of money. And then combat.
I think there's
Yes,
some interesting.
air battle in Gibraltar. And a strategic bombing raid. Oh boy, here we go. All right, let's open this up. Okay, so not afraid. He launches 3, 2 bombers and 1 fighter. And the interceptors scramble 4. The attackers fire and get a hit. The defenders fire and miss completely. The air battle is over. The bombing raid goes on. And again, the Allies miss. 6 dice rolled, 0 hits. Gamerman rolls 5 dice and gets his hits, and he causes 6 damage, getting a 3 and 3 maximum damage on his factory. Well, very, very good.
So I think he's bombing the naval base, so I can't use that with the American unit. So I have to build one in Spain if I want one to be functionable.
I think he bombed the airbase.
Okay, it's the air base he bombed. Okay,
Yep,
yeah.
yep. Maybe thinking about a German attack. I don't know. Interesting. $21. And here we go with let's take a look at the Italians. So you got obviously exposed the aircraft carrier. So the aircraft carrier was obviously there to make this happen because it's now exposed and in danger.
That's because his blasted allies' planes wouldn't score a hit. If they would have scored a hit, I wouldn't have to connect the carrier.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. So it's one of those occasions where you wanted to get hit. That is, and of course, the odds are that you will get hits. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Very good. That's funny. Okay, so West Ukraine. And is that your last can opener?
I got 2 mech and a tank, and you go.
You go, okay. Headed the other direction. So not concerned too much about those Yugos. Are they coming or going?
Germans are probably moving in.
Gotcha. Okay, responding to the crisis in Turkey, probably, I would think. These came off the Eastern Front, right?
They were covering Turkey.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Bulgaria. Yeah.
Gotcha. Super. All right. All right, let's go. The Anzac purchases fighter and 2 infantry. Combat moves, but no combat. And let's take a look at the French and Anzacs. So Anzac has moved to Northern Territory and giving their, it doesn't actually give, it actually makes it so you could attack New Guinea a little easier, I suppose. And
I think I moved there to protect the British bomber that had
ah,
to land in Northern Territory.
gotcha. This British bomber. Wow. Okay, I missed that movement. There's one British bomber. So you took out a transport.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, I didn't see that. So, okay, excellent. Okay, killing transports is one of my favorite things to do. I think it's one of all of our favorite things to do. Okay, so that's the Anzac turn. They're up here. And then I'll just take a look at Africa. We got some French guys protecting the patient German tank and mech. And then,
And
oh, we
there's
still,
one French destroyer moving that I think annoyed Ted quite a bit.
oh, wow. That is
Yeah.
significance.
It was very significant.
Wow, that is huge. You could have taken out that fleet. Wow. That's,
Yeah, I made a mistake there.
wow. That's, that is in a, that is a, that is a huge. So obviously everyone sees this, but without this French destroyer, the air base attack would have disabled his aircraft from scrambling to the sea zone, and his fleet that he had been building up for 4 turns would have gone down in flames. Okay,
And it had to be a French destroyer because then the Italians couldn't hit it.
all right. Wow, it's amazing. All right, research purchase for the Germans to repair damage on a factory. $64 to spend. Buys artillery, bomber, carrier, 2 infantry, 2 mech, 3 subs. Wow. Okay, so I mean, just that purchase alone is going to say that you can't keep up with the Russians when they're buying ground units. You've bought 5 ground units, and so that's going to make the Eastern Front a little more dangerous. Air battle in Gibraltar. No kidding. Okay. 2 bombers and a fighter. And I was, uh, there was no air battle. So you couldn't scramble. So you attack and go on to the strategic bombing raid. And that's funny. Without the scrambling fighters being involved with the air battle, you lose a bomber. That's funny. You do cause 7 damage or 6 to the harbor, and you have succeeded at where you wanted to succeed. The Germans attacked Novgorod with 3 mech, 3 armor, and 3 infantry. And attack 104, you kill that French destroyer. That won't happen again. And you do go into Volgograd. You are going to make a lot of money. Baltic states, cleanup. And let's go to turn complete. 70s, $77. Wow, okay, that is definitely into the danger zone.
Yeah,
Japan's not.
so obviously that has to stop.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so these forces, this looks obviously a one-off. It's going to stop. It's going to be destroyed, but it's a nice bit of cash for sure. Move down to West Ukraine. The trench warfare continues, but Novgorod is now firmly in German hands and will be for a good bit as he deals with the crisis in Stalingrad and as the Germans deal with the crisis in the Balkans. All right, well, it's very skilled play, guys. Lots of play. Look at all these planes. Look at all these fighters here. Just, obviously preparing for the quote unquote, well, the liberation of Normandy, Bordeaux, southern France, by the good guys. And then we're going to have to start. This is going to be a battleground, skirmish ground. He does not have enough ground units to keep it. So it looks like it's going to be a skirmish for several rounds. Good stuff. Wow.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Oh, aircraft carrier as a blocker, by the way. Now it needed that.
There's two actually.
My goodness. Wow. Wow. Wow.
So there are a lot of Axis aircraft carriers there, 2 blockers and one in North Sea, I think.
Wow. Yeah, 112. There's only one scrambling fighter to protect it, but with the blocker here, the American Navy can't do much about it. Well, plus you don't have the harbor, so the harbor's damaged and can't be. By the way, if you're just watching, you probably know this, but because London is not in Allied hands, those bases cannot be repaired. So they are out of commission until London is liberated. It's a pretty big deal. All right, let's go with the huge money grab. Let's see what the Russians do in response. 3 armor, 3 artillery, 5 infantry, and 2 mech. Okay, and combats Saudi Arabia. Okay, so making some money, and he takes back Volgograd. So this is going to be a big money turn by the.
It's not very spectacular, but the battle in Volgograd is a little bit. Maybe you can take a short look at that, because
yes,
I don't really have a lot of things there. Just once, I'm attacking with 16.
Okay.
So, but it goes well, obviously. But
Yeah.
But it just demonstrates the power of quantity.
Yes. In a debate between pips and hit points, I'll take hit points almost every time.
You will notice that he lost 3 infantry and 0 mech. He had it perfectly calculated.
No, very good. Very good. Well, $55 for the Russians. And let's take a look at the Eastern Front after round. I think we're in round 11, I think it is. Yep. Okay, so let's take a look at the Eastern Front. Okay, he's into Greece. He's into Saudi Arabia. I mean, look, if I zoom out a little bit, let's see if I can do that. My fingers seem to be, my mouse pad doesn't seem to be responding, but look at the purple. Ethiopia, Italian Somaliland, Tobruk, Libya, now Greece, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iraq. And this empire, we could say, is supplying the Russian Eastern Front. Volgograd definitely looks like a one-off, but Leningrad, again, is in complete control. But this is, obviously you guys are running the numbers, and there is no possibility of I'll just take a look real quick. In this section, where is it? History, players. I can't do it right now. Oh, there we go. 49, 50, 52, 60, 70, 80, I think it is. Yes, 80. And then this one is 31, 61, 71, around 80 as well. So, all right, Eastern Fronts, very textured. Again, we have units here and all sorts of units spread all over the place. All sorts of demands on the Germans. How long do you guys take to take your turns? A day, 2?
Well, hours total sitting time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've got to sleep on them once or twice, and then you wake up with ideas.
Good.
sometimes you need to think about them through the day when you're doing something else.
Yep. Do you guys play the turn through in a local file?
I don't do that.
You don't do that. How about you, Oysteilo?
I do it most of the time.
Yep. Yep. Gamerman always recommends that. I mean, I'm sorry, Andrew A. Gamer. Yep. Okay, Japan spends 5 on tech.
Sorry about that.
No problem. And then Japan has 1 AA gun, 1 armor, 8 infantry, 1 mech, and 2 transports. So he's getting onto the land. He's got some breathing room with not too much competition as far as the Navy goes. And so he is going to go everywhere. Look at this, Siam, Aleutians. He's back in the North Pacific. Malaya, Amur, J-holes. He's on 26.
You have to take a look at the battle in 26 because it's a critical battle.
Okay, let's go here and then Anway, and then Anway. Okay, let's take a look at the battle in 26.
We don't have.
I think
dice.
that one is also done by
Okay,
Dice. But if you look at
let's see
if
here.
you just click on the combat.
There we go. Take a look at this. Okay, so 2 destroyers, 5 subs, 1 carrier, 2 fighters, 3 scrambling fighters. One of them is Anzac. Battleship, 2 carriers, 3 fighters, 2 bombers, 1 diver, 4 subs, 2 destroyers. So, and this went well for who?
This went well for Ted because I didn't calculate this correctly. So the error I do here is that, of course, I see that he has 2 carriers that he can bring into the action, but he needs to land all remaining fighters and attack bombers on the carriers. So he can't take hits to the carriers. But I think what he's doing is he's taking 1 carrier out and 2 planes off.
Gotcha.
I didn't quite I didn't look at it carefully enough or didn't quite understand the consequences good enough. So
All right.
well done.
I tell you, a lot of times I don't even count my submarines when I'm doing the math. They're just so pathetic on defense. So, take those subs out of here. It looks, obviously a lot worse. But let's take a look at the end of your turn. So again, good $63. That is a healthy income. It's not fantastic, but it's a healthy income for the Japanese, especially with this kind of result. And you end up having no carriers, no fighters, but a damaged battleship, 2 destroyers. And the East Coast has now a convoying sub over after it. The Aleutians have been taken. This looks fantastic. Carolines are
They're not a single U.S. boat in the Pacific, I think.
not a boat in the Pacific. So this is one of those times where you sit and go, well, we better get our butts to get. We better get our act together in the Atlantic so we can now focus on the Pacific. So, oh, there's some subs in the middle. Oh, my goodness. Ted, you're devious, dastardly.
I had to do everything I could to stay alive this entire game.
Yeah. Wow, you guys are just vicious. Nice. Very admirable. $63. Let's just take a look at China. So Southeast Asia, again, is in the hands of the Japanese. The coast is in the hands of the Japanese, and there is Anhui and Hunan have been taken by the Japanese. So even that section is pretty healthy. No progress or movement in the Eastern Russia, but healthy. I mean, Money Island's still there. Took away the bonuses for Anzac. Anzac is left to almost nothing except for it's $10, and very, very healthy situation for the Japanese.
But 6 cities, India, Australia, California, impossible to take for a long time.
Yes. Yeah. Victory City win is out of reach. It's this point in time. 2 transports could obviously get you Hawaii, but as far as Queensland goes, I mean, that's a bastion. India, Sebastian. Okay, let's take a look at the American response in this 11th turn, I think. Yeah, turn 11. Okay, so the Americans come back with 3 destroyers, 1 minor factory, okay, 1 fighter, 6 infantry, and 1 sub. And the combat's 104. It takes out the carrier. 92 takes out the Italian carrier and German fighter and Italian fighter. And then finally we have placing units. And still 2 destroyers, 17, 101. 1 destroyer placed in 10. And 1 fighter in the Western United States. And 1 factory in Spain. Okay. And you are down some money. $73 though still. Okay. Let's look at that. So he did choose to take Normandy, Bordeaux, southern France. Love to see that. Factory in Spain, winning by another way, by another means. 2 carriers and 3 transports go down to Brazil. Taking the long way home, huh?
They just have to leave Gibraltar because they can be blown up, basically.
Oh, you lost some ships in the. Oh wow.
So
Oh, there we go.
He has so many subs that I can't protect my fleet in Gibraltar. So he has
4 subs in 109.
and he has 3 in the Atlantic, and then there's also some planes that can attack
Wow.
from London, I think.
Wow, intense game. Wow. Wow. Very, very interesting. Okay, and I think you're pretty contained to right here, and you're pretty contained to
Yes.
right here. The Americans, as far as units on the board, America's got to have very, very few units on the board. America has 83 units on the board. That's not too bad. But the Russians have 134, the Germans 145, Japanese 79. Chinese have 18. British have 70. Oh, very, very interesting. Let's do the Chinese. Chinese can buy artillery. They buy 1 artillery, 5 infantry. Skirmish battles in Hunan, Jehol, Anhui. And then they're going to collect $20. That's very healthy. China and Russia are keeping you guys in the game.
Definitely.
Yunnan is still strong, and India is still strong, but we do have a northern force to keep annoying the Japanese and keep them from balling up into a bowling ball that would move forward with the force of those. Although there are only 6 Japanese planes on the mainland, so that a lot of times you'll see almost 20 planes on the mainland. All right.
So all those naval battles, I think, are that's the reason why there's so few planes in mainland China.
That can really be a blessing to, as bad as it is for the Americans and Anzac, it's a blessing to the Chinese and to India, the Gurkhas. Okay, so let's go to purchase 3 infantry again and then we have a battle in Shan State, not a big deal. And let's take a look at, we got a $1 loss to convoy, ends up with $13. And let's go down here, take a look at the situation. So we still have 2 bombers in Yunnan and a bunch of infantry, and we've taken, and you skirmished over Southeast Asia. India is still strong. And then in Egypt, hanging tough in Egypt, hanging tough in Tobruk with those 2 Italian transports. And of course, hanging tough in Gibraltar. All right. And now we go to the, so we have,
I think I was one round too early. I think this is the round that I didn't consider moving my British units to Spain because of the 2 Italian transports.
gotcha.
Now the airbase is also disabled.
Right. Okay, so then the Italians buy an armor. I'm sorry, anti-aircraft? No, does that? Artillery, 3 infantry and 2 mech. Combat in Turkey, Eastern Poland, Greece, and southern France. Turkey.
I think you should look at the Turkey battle a little bit.
Let's take a look at that. Okay, here we go.
I'm not sure who's the favorite there on the table, but
so 2 bombers, 3 fighters, 3 infantry versus 2 infantry, 3 artillery. Oh, you have artillery, Italian artillery as well. So 5, 6, 7 units versus 4, 7, 9 units. Okay, let's see how it goes. I'm going to move my people down. Okay, British. Okay, okay. So that's some tough rolling. The Germans did not get lucky there. A lot of 6s, boxcars. The Russians, they don't get particularly lucky either. 2 are lost on each side. They roll, wow, fantastic dice for the Italians, but fantastic dice as well for the Russians. And
Cost some planes. Yep.
yeah, cost some planes. That's always feels good. The Italians take out the last survivor, and the paddle. It's a -1 for the attackers. Very good. Okay, and down here we have
Well, that's
$16.
That's forfeiting 2 transports.
Oh yeah. There you go. Yep, because he has a bomber. Is that a bomber? Russian bomber.
yep.
Russian bomber here, as well as the planes can reach. So very good. All right. Did you see that coming, Oysteilo? Did you see the attack coming?
I kind of realized it was a possibility, but I didn't think he would do it because it means that he would have to sacrifice his 2 transports.
Right. And then all of these units that have been holding tight would then be free to do something else.
That's one consequence too. And now I will be able to keep the 2 North African territories with Russia. But since I have a factory in Iraq, it's not so critical anymore.
Gotcha.
They can be resupplied from Iraq.
Gotcha. Excellent. All right. Let's go to, oh, and I want to look at the Eastern Front. Okay, so we do have an Italian fighter in Romania. Eastern Poland has been captured by the Italians. 2 bombers, and then of course he's ready for action against the and southern Italy is almost completely empty on account of 0 Allied shipping, and he can vent his entire force against the Americans in Spain. Okay, how will that go? 1 sub and 2 mech for the Anzac troops, and then we'll look at them collecting. I would think only $10. Yeah, $11. And then comms, let's take a look at where Anzac is. Probably not much, probably just huddled up back in Queensland. And reactionary force in South Australia. That's about it. Besides, they moved into Turkey, and the French moved into Turkey to help out. So, all right, last game round to review, guys. And okay, the Germans do spend money. They've got a lot of money. They're going to spend money and get a hit with this Super subs. That's pretty good for you, Ted.
Right
You got
now, I was
seven subs on the board. 8, 9. That is fantastic for you. Wow. And terrible for the okay, so you purchase 1 bomber, 2 fighters, 7 mech, 4 infantry. Combat in Normandy and Ukraine. Placing units and turn complete. Let's see how much money these guys get. They get $69. That is a healthy income, even so. Money coming from mostly Russia. And of course, London and Scotland. All right, let's see what the Russians do. They buy three tanks. I think that might be the first tank purchase I've seen. 7 mech, 3 infantry, combat 99. And then in Ukraine, skirmish battles. Let's go down to turn complete. See how much money. $59. That's some nice money for the Russians. Let's take a look at the Eastern Front. Okay, so fast movers potentially for Novgorod, but there's a lot of power in the north. Wow, okay, so spread out between Baltic and East Poland. This is an interesting configuration, Ted. You want to give us an expert's opinion on why
let's see.
why you split your troops here?
Like the fast in the Baltic states.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty complicated, I think. Again, we're about a year ago, but I didn't need them in East Poland.
Okay.
And I think it's a way to possibly get some mech up in past Leningrad so that I have access to it from the north.
Gotcha.
In the future.
Gotcha. All right. With him having, I think most of his mechs have been actually destroyed. So here they are in Ukraine. Okay. All right. And then, so still the Russians are here. The Russians are strong in the center.
They're at Turkey. I figured out what's going on there more.
Yep.
With the Italian attack on Turkey, the transports were in big trouble before long anyway, with 10 American aircraft, 2 heavy bombers on Spain.
Yep.
They weren't safe anywhere, and it was a 2-pronged attack to take and hold Greece. So 3 Italian ground units went down and took Greece with heavy losses, but by decimating Turkey, it couldn't be taken back. Greece is a landing place potentially for American fighters from Spain, so I'm keeping American fighters away from Russia.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. All right. So Russia ends $59. Looking, Moscow is not in danger, but the progress being made will be made probably in this area, or at least this will be the dynamic, I think, front more than maybe here. Okay, so let's go to the Japanese. They buy a factory, 2 transports, 7 infantry, and 4 artillery. Combat's always lots of combat for the Japanese. Midway, territory 10, season 10, Wake Island, French Indo, Hunan, Guangxi, Shan State, and Buryatia.
He's all over the place.
Yes, he is. It's what I call the orange fever. $56, $61, still making decent money. And if we look on the small map, he is in, you can see that he's in eastern Russia. In the north, he is got a bit of a stretch here to go. Got this mech coming out to slow the tank down. And then he's coastal. He's inland in Hunan. But the big push this turn with the centralized Navy, and then the big push this turn is that he got into Where did you go? You went to Midway
Midway and Awake.
and Wake. So still has more ships, even in the Pacific American waters, than the Americans do, as the Americans attempt to get past his dangerous submarines and get onto recapturing. Wow. Tough game, guys. Really competitive. Interesting. Okay, we have a naval base, an air base, a naval base, 4 destroyers, and come on now, 1 fighter. Wow. Okay. Okay. Battle in Portugal, in Normandy, in 107, 89, 103. Trying to get rid of some of those subs. Places units and turn completes. $68, which so let's take a look at the way the Americans have positioned themselves. Okay, so how does this look? We've got only 1 German sub here. And the German subs have been, they're still in the middle. 1, 2, 3. American destroyers. 1 German sub convoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then the Americans in Spain have continued to produce, and they, I think, tried to take over Normandy. It looks like they failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And skirmish there. Okay, and then let me look at the Pacific. Okay, still. Okay, so looks like you pulled him out. Yeah, you did. You pulled him right out of there. So there are no American ships still in the in the Pacific, but they are getting a handle on these out of control German subs. So Germany is the best friend of Japan right now. Goodness, it's amazing. Very good, Ted. 5 infantry, 1 artillery. I don't know what China would do with air bases. Hunan and Guangxi. Units placed. Let's take a look. Burma Road still open, so $25, $26. And still great news for the Chinese as they take Manchuria for the first time and make life difficult for the Japanese. Well, someone's got to do the job. All right, let's see how the UK Pacific and the United Kingdom responds. Combat in Shan and French Indochina. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, so again, Southeast Asia is fought over. The threat of the bombers. And then moving out of Burma. So no ships. The ships are too far away.
Yeah.
Two ships there. 1 transport here. 2 transports here. Okay, let's go to Italy. Oh, I'm sorry. I want to take a look at Spain for the British. Okay, so we have action. We have, wow, that's strong. Spain is extremely strong. Oh, I didn't see that German sub got into 92. Still receiving that bonus.
Yep.
The
All right.
focus was on training every sub possible on 91, single sub per zone.
Gotcha. Spread them out. Right there. Picket. I call that well, I think it might even be called a sub picket. So nice. Okay. Times by an armor, a fighter, and an infantry. No combats, and they collect $21. They're still making huge money. Southern Italy is back to being fairly strong, and he's prepared to skirmish in southern France. Anti-aircraft in France. On the Eastern Front, he is in East Poland, holding East Poland. All right, let's go to Anzac. Anzac purchases two infantry, one artillery, protecting that. Oh, there's a battle in Java, protecting that Victory City. Oh, we're back to making some money. $17 for Anzac.
Anzac is taking Greece.
Oh, very good. Okay, let's check that out. I didn't see that.
They sent both IPCs all the way home immediately.
Okay, so how did that get empty? I did not. You must have moved out of
It's a
there.
dead, it's a dead zone now.
Good dead zone. Gotcha. Okay. So Anzac takes it for $2. Nice.
Yeah.
And takes back Java. That's a big deal. The French are helping hold down India. Well, guys, we've been at it for a couple hours. I'm a little tired.
Sure tied it up good.
But this is great. This game, just to zoom it over one more time, and the drama. I mean, very dramatic game. We've got tech in here, super subs on the prowl in the Atlantic, in between, and convoying the Americans, in between American destroyers. A lot of bravery there, a lot of trying to distract them. Obviously, it's a neutral game. It's a tech game. He's got heavy bombers, two heavy bombers right there. The American Navy is back in action in '91. The Russians have made lots of money by the spread of communism bonus, really saved them and kept them competitive. And the Eastern Front is a bit of a stalemate. Quagmire, what am I always saying? It's a trench warfare kind of idea, but there's some action in skirmishes in Greece and Balkans that have to be taken care of and looked to. The Med is empty of all shipping, both Italian and Allied, except for a couple of subs on each side. Egypt I don't think has ever been threatened. We have a Russian factory in Iraq. Yunnan has been held. I don't think it's ever been lost, actually. And the real skirmish battle here is the Southeast Asia, and the coast is a constant skirmish battle with the strong Chinese. But the Americans have zero shipping. Anzac, I don't think has it. Anzac has one sub, and the Americans have one sub and one transport in all of the Pacific theater, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units, 9 aggressive warships, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 transports for the Japanese. Wonder where those transports are going. All right, that's great, guys. Thank you so much for showing up. If anybody would want to say anything before we sign out.
Yeah, sorry, it's been 8 or 9 days since my last move, but that's just about par for the course. Should be coming up before long.
Okay.
That's all right.
Very.
Take the time you need, no problem.
That's the way we've been talking for 20 months now. You take your time. No, you take your time. Not looking forward to the next move.
I forgot to mention this aggression in the Central Pacific, taking over Midway and Wake, and which puts the warship count from 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and transports from 7 to 9, I think it is. So, all right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Might take me a minute to get out of here as I move my stuff around. Okay.
I guess, yeah, I do have one other comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Andrew's been commenting even recently on the boards about the Union bid. You can't figure it out. It's such a pain. But this game is great because of the Union bid.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, this particular game is impossible without that bid.
That's exactly right.
We got
Yeah,
tension
that's right.
all over the world.
Yeah, it is dynamic, extremely dynamic. Huh. I can't seem to end my turn thing here. I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but I'm a little bit trying to find my meeting.
Oh, is it the little blue circle
Blue circle. I'll look for a blue circle.
down there? The Zoom on the, is
Yeah,
it that?
it should be that. But you know what I'll do? I'll go to my meeting. Let's see that makes. Let's make sure that we're. Oh, I certainly hope we're on. That would be a tragedy. That would be also a first. Zoom. Okay. No, we're on a Zoom meeting. We're certainly on a Zoom meeting. So workplace app. Let's get out of that. Today. Sorry. You guys can feel free to disconnect if you need to or want to. Or oh wait. Oh, here we go. There we go. All right, we can officially stop the recording. I'm going to stop the recording. Hey guys, thank you for watching Crockett 36 Allied Headquarters review of this fantastic game. It involves technology, a new map, and also some great players. All right, Crockett out. Ending. I'm going to end recording.
All right.
Recording.